We're continuing our team coverage out here in Greenfield as we mark the 1-year anniversary of the deadly, heartbreaking, destructive tornado that just ripped right through this town. Now, I was out here a year ago today, and it was one of those days that you can't put into words. And coming back now, you can see houses are popping up. The community has really come together. It's been a year of overcoming adversity for this community. So today is really going to be one of those days reflecting on that past year. The city has events going on all throughout the day. They're going to have a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner. There's going to be recovery resources available all day, as well as a ceremony later in the evening. All of this is free, and something that I just know will be so powerful, a moment of silence at 3:42 p.m. where the bells ring. That's going to mark that 1 year since that tornado touched down right in Greenfield. Now, the rebuilding efforts over the past year have been truly remarkable in this town. Now, from members of the community to volunteers, everybody has really helped out and stepped up. And just this, for the last week, Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity built 2 houses for families who lost their homes in the tornado a year ago. Local 5 talked with Mina Tootle, who remembers the chaos of that day when she and her family lost their home. And 1 year later, they found out they're getting a new one built for them.
Oh my gosh, they're doing stuff where our house is supposed to be, and it was just the foundation. So every day after that, we've been coming by and like walking around, peeking and just looking.
Now, Greater Des Moines Habitat volunteers and sponsors spent the week working on this home and another one, building everything from the foundations to the roofs. It's really been an all-hands-on-deck effort throughout this entire time. We want to bring back in Megan McPherson because you guys may remember the hospital was also hit on that horrifying night. So she's live right outside of the hospital. And Megan, you spoke with an ER nurse who was working the night the hospital was hit. I can only imagine what that was like for her.
Yeah, Dana, here on the southeast part of town, all these houses that are currently in front of me, they were destroyed. But as we sort of come around here, this is the direct path that the tornado took, and the hospital is just behind me here. This is Greenfield's only hospital, but it does serve all of Adair County. The next closest hospital is about 20 miles away. And for first responders, they were sort of taken aback and put on their back foot that day because the hospital didn't touch them. It narrowly missed the building itself, but the impacts of it were certainly felt as flying debris, and those high winds sent debris and the windows just shattered. A lot of damage to the exterior of the building. Of course, the staff that I spoke with, she's actually a physician assistant. She's been working in the ER here. She tells me that they knew things were serious. One of the nurses who lives here in town, they were listening to the weather radio. They knew that they needed to get to shelter, get their 4 patients that were in the ER to safety as quickly as possible. We spoke to her just about the moment that she stepped out of the storm shelter and saw what had happened.
The moment I stepped out of the room, the ER window that leads to that hallway was busted out, and there was debris and trees on the floor, but I couldn't even see the front of the hospital, which is where the majority of the damage was, right next to us.
Forced to evacuate, triage efforts were moved from the Casey's, which is just catty corner from the hospital, to the lumber yard, and then later the nearby elementary school became a makeshift clinic. Classrooms converted into urgent care facilities. That operation continued for months while the hospital underwent extensive repairs, reopening to the public late last year. Dana.
All right, Megan, thank you. And those weren't the only first responders that were hit that evening. The town's only fire department was impacted by that tornado, and they are still working to rebuild to this day. Now, those strong winds on May 21st, 2024 destroyed the fire station that's located right near the town square. It also damaged 9 sets of gear. A neighboring fire department actually let them borrow some of theirs, so that was some great news right there. But ever since, the Greenfield Volunteer Fire Department has been operating out of a farm building just south of town.
Everybody on the fire department, everybody loves helping people. And I think that kind of helps us just keep pushing forward and going from there.
Now, the fire department is considering a few different plans from contractors to rebuild the fire station. It is expected to cost millions, and construction should begin by June 1st. And to see more of these stories, we have a special airing exclusively on We're Iowa Plus. It's called Greenfield Strong 1 year later. 1 year after the storms, our team is on the ground giving a voice to the victims and their families. You can download that right on your TV and watch for free. We'll continue our live team coverage throughout the morning, but for now, let's send it back to Joseph for your news of the day.
All right, Dana, thank you very much.